3v3 Calderis Refinery. This is one of two games between these 6 players. So let's get into it. Blue side is Unseen as a Plague Champion, supportive defensive commander, fights in range by default, can deploy turrets and can also get war gear to heal, do nasty damage over time and melee. Pretty versatile then, but pretty slow. Starts with heretics, light infantry start off as a melee and they can worship. Alongside Unseen is Concede, I believe also known as Mike, but I'm not sure, so Concede it is, as a Chaos Lord, big tanky melee commander, can bash through cover and cannot be suppressed. Rounding out the blue team is Lucidic as the Imperial Guard Inquisitor, offensive commander, can fight in ranged or melee, foregoes any support abilities for loads of snares. Very strong commander in the current meta game in my opinion. On the red team we have Ingo as a Techmarine, back at base healing up now after first engagements. Defensive commander, but can pump out some pretty nice range damage, can deploy turrets and relay stations. Scouts, light ranged infantry are the starting unit for Space Marines. Elk alongside him as another Inquisitor. Imperial Guards start with Guardsmen, light ranged infantry. Not the toughest, but they reinforce very quickly and very cheaply. Rounding out the red team amongst this huge engagement is FadedButterfly as the Space Marine Apothecary, with the rather spiffing Ultramarines DLC army scheme. He's now in retreat. The Apothecary is a supportive commander, can fight ranged or melee and can heal by default. 2 tactical marine squads for FadedButterfly. Elk goes for a sentinel and another guardsman squad, as does Lucidic. Concede goes for Chaos Space Marines, and again Unseen also dual Chaos Space Marines. Ingo goes for tactical marines, heavy ranged infantry. 3 VPs as always, 1 here natural for red, 1 center and 1 in the southwest natural for blue. Very close early on. We saw some early engagements over here. Looks like the blues have prevailed and can now push this power node. Chaos Lord and the Plague Champion. Lots of heavy infantry on the field. If the Guardsmen can get to tier 2 without dying and get some plasma guns, they're going to be some nasty damage. We have 2 multi-last turrets going down from Lucidic. Do pretty nice damage to infantry, but do not suppress like the Techmarine or Plague Champions turrets, for example. Techmarine forced off along with his marines and scouts. Scouts have their sergeant giving them a grenade. Heretics and the Inquisitor bashing some power generators. Assault Marines on the way for FadedButterfly. Assault Marines are jump infantry, have fantastic synergy with the Apothecary. Looks like Unseen forced off here by all these guardsmen. You see the green markings under the feet of these infantry. That's because the Apothecary grants regeneration bonuses to all nearby infantry. Havoc on the way for Unseen. Apothecary has her Holy Brazier. This is Elk, giving her a power melee weapon. Good versus all of this heavy infantry on the blue team. Hammer of the Witch is almost taking out 2 models. 1 does go down and the last 2 retreat. Catachans on the field for Elk, not seen that often, seen as a bit too fragile, but we'll see. They can be very useful if microed well. Very versatile units. Sentinel coming in, might stomp on them and does. Going to take a lot of range damage from these guardsmen though. Sentinels are tier 1 vehicles that can decap points but cannot cap them. They only have heavy armor though, so small arms fire does damage them. Tier 2 for Lucidic, very quick tier 2. We see these Ultramarines from Faded Butterfly, Assault Marines and Tactical Marines, and the Apothecary has his mastercrafted bolter. Choosing to avoid these Chaos Space Marines. Concede and Unseen sticking together, lots of damage on the Apothecary. That's the way to play against him, is to force him down so he cannot support his troops. Assault Marines used to good effect, jumping in the middle of all this stuff. They are caught by the Havocs now though, and defensively jump away, then retreat. Apothecary taking tons of damage. Plague Champion has a Plague Bolter by default, which does damage over time. That's that green stink you can see coming off the Apothecary. Lots of bolters going off. Kraken bolts by these Tactical Marines doing more damage to these Chaos Space Marines. Heretics trying to finish off some stuff in retreat. They do finish off a Guardsman squad there from Elk. Ultramarines get away. Center is blue, as is blue's natural, so that's a 2-to-1 cap. 462 plays 382. Everyone going tier 2 apart from Ingo and Faded Butterfly. Lucidic has a Manticore on the way. Very powerful artillery unit. Lucidic managing to stun these Devastators, forcing them off. Chaos Space Marines forcing melee on his Tactical Marines. Chaos Space Marines have very respectable melee damage for a ranged unit. Also forcing off the Techmarine. Ingo's had a bit of trouble on this side. Sentinel used to great effect to decap this natural VP for red. Center does go to red though, thanks to Katashan Devils. Elk stunning these Chaos Space Marines with Hammer of the Witches, her default ability. She has her Holy Brazier. Lucidic Inquisitor has no war gear. That's all reliable grenade launcher from those Katashans, knocking back all of those units. Great utility, but they are isolated and need to retreat. Lots of bluing center so they can cap this VP. Manticore is on the field for Lucidic. Very powerful artillery with great range, but every shot needs to be activated, and it is very vulnerable to any kind of anti-vehicle weaponry. And very slow also. That's the Holy Pyre going off there. Damage over time to infantry, but it's not hitting anything right now. Space Marine Devastators set up with their heavy bolter. Here is the first Manticore strike, wiping the Devastators in one volley, in one missile even. Ingo not spotting the marker in time, so could not retreat. He is down to just his scouts at 4 members and Tactical Marines at 2 members. Looks like we have some Zinch Scale Space Marines. They have Hellfire rounds now, which do tons of damage to infantry. We have Khorne Worship from Concede's Heretics, boosting the speed of nearby units. Guardsmen unable to decap center, forced off by these Inferno Bolters. Lucidic poking at the Techmarine with her sword, getting Excruciators. Ouch, Katashan's dying in droves here, down to 4 members, but they'll get away. Ingo going for a Razorback. Elk has Ogrins on the field, very strong melee unit, going for their Bonehead leader. 449 plays 311. Meanwhile, on the western side, Ultramarines taking out Chaos Space Marines with the Mark of Khorne, turning them into pretty fearsome melee unit. You saw the Mastercrafted Bolter's full auto ability there from the Apothecary, knocking back that Chaos Space Marine. Tactical Marines have their Sergeant in the red helmet there, giving them a decent melee combatant, also adding to their range damage. Assault Marines also have their Sergeant. Triple cap for blue team, though the middle is being decapped. Here comes some very mean Ogrins though, and Chaos Space Marines get the hell out of there. Retreating units of course take more damage from melee. Ouch, we have the assail ability, stopping the Ogrins in their tracks so these plasma guardsmen could pick them off at will, doing tons of damage to the super heavy infantry of the Ogrins. Razorback on the field for Ingo has a heavy bolter on the top which does pretty respectable damage, also allows surrounding allies to reinforce and can transport. What was that? That was the Catashans are reliable. We have stormtroopers on the field for Elk, most likely called in, has Ogrins of his own. Plasma Devastator on the field for Ingo, covering this eastern side. Huge range on it, as you can see. It's going to get caught by these Ogrins. No, they turn to face the Techmarine. Techmarine has his plasma gun. Manticore going off, avoided though. Also has artificial armor, making him a bit tougher. Assail, stopping these Catashans in their tracks, which is a good thing because Catashan Devils are pretty nasty in melee. 2-to-1 cap for red. Can they pull this back? Map control is still pretty much blue. Loads of power down for blue team. Over here too. Mark of Zinch, Chaos Space Marines for Unseen. Forcing off these guards and get away with 2 members. Also have these Corn Marines. Pretty nasty Chaos forces on this game. Here we see a Bane Wolf, unique unit to the Inquisitor, one of her global ability cooldowns. Very nasty flamer type damage with this cannon of green stuff. Chaos Lord has his devastating lightning claws. He's fully kitted out now. Armor of the Inferno and Icon of Khorne. Bane Wolf needs to be very, very careful. Tactical Marines in retreat. Ogrins giving chase. Do not want to mix it with Ogrins in melee. Razorback comes to support. 2-to-1 cap for blue. 404 plays 216. Tier 3 for Unseen and Concede, and Ingo just hitting, going tier 3, sorry. 2 Bane Wolves on the field then, both Inquisitors calling one down. Elk's pretty low on health, since it was caught in rear armor by the Chaos Lord. Chaos Lord now going after the Razorback. Icon of Khorne allowing him to regenerate health with each hit. There's Armor of the Inferno, knocking back all these Marines. And a Manticore strike. Took out one model, I think. Manticore being pretty bold. Here comes some infiltrated stormtroopers with melter guns. That Manticore is gonna take a pounding right now. If they can get behind it for rear armor hits. Looks like they are. Nope, they're just gonna attack. Look at that. 2 or 3 volleys, and there's a melter bomb and it's dead. You need to watch your Manticores or they'll go down very, very quickly. Now working on the Bane Wolf. Ogrins in there. There's Holy Fire. Ogrins do fantastic damage to vehicles in melee even, and the Bane Wolf, the Chimera, sorry, goes down. All of these guardsmen forced off. Tier 3 for Lucidic. Over on this west side we have a bunch of Ultramarines shooting at Havocs. Nurgle worship from these heretics, boosting the regeneration of all of these infantry. Plague Champion went down. Looks like he has his Plague Fist, yes. These Marines have been flanked and are forced off. Heretics doom blasting, trying to take up models. Bane Wolf slowing down these Chaos Space Marines. Khorne worship speeding them up. This is Elk taking the central VP. Has her inquisitorial mandate. Ouch, lots of guardsmen dying from the plasma cannon. Chaos Predator on the field for Concede has Mark of Zinch giving it twin linked las cannons, forcing off the Inquisitor. Lost the indicator for her, but she is in retreat. Mark of Khorne speeding up all of this stuff. Bane Wolf versus Bane Wolf here. Ouch. Lucidic has the Inferno pistol. Very, very nasty damage to all targets from range. Excruciators and the Mandate. Center being taken by Mark of Zinch Chaos Space Marines with their Sergeant level 2 now. We have a Space Marine Predator on the way for Ingo. 391 plays 77. Reds need to pull this back. 2-1 cap for blue. They need a concerted push on center, and Ingo needs a bit of help up here. Ultramarines taking this west side. Looks like Unseen might be pinned a little bit. Armor of the Inferno devastating to these stormtroopers. Elk has 2 of them. Retreated the wrong one, now retreats the right squad. Holy Pie going off on all this chaos stuff. Ouch. Inquisitor now going into melee with the Holy Brazier. Chaos Lord menacing, charging around the battlefield with Khorne worship. Taking out the Inquisitor in retreat. Here's a venerable dreadnought from Ingo though. Unique unit to the Techmarine. Superlative Space Marine Walker unit. Fights in melee, can charge also. Looks like red can perhaps cap center. Predator has las cannons. Lucidic biding his time. Blue don't need to rush this. 391 to 25. You see the remains of a tank. Concede lost a lot of stuff. Ultramarines coming center along with their Apothecary. Also a bunch of stormtroopers. Las cannon devastators also. That tank does not want to show rear armor. Turn around. Las cannon's gonna set up covering the VP. Assault Marines jumping in. Pretty quiet. Here comes the Chaos Lord and a bunch of Chaos Space Marines. Techmarine trying to scare him off with a plasma gun, but he's taking ridiculous amounts of damage. Might go down here in retreat from sheer ranged firepower. That was crazy. Mark of Zinch being upgraded on this tank, rendering it immobile, and it's in range of the las cannon. That wasn't the best idea. The upgrade was cancelled so it could get away. Armor of the Inferno, let Galaxy Burn going off on those devastators. Tactical Marines can't do much against this tank. The Melter Bomb can though. Will go off, snaring it and doing damage. Tactical Marines have plasma guns, both of them, yes. Chaos Lord's in big trouble. Even with Icon of Khorne, gonna go down and retreat, and does. 337 plays 25. 2-1 cap for red. Can they pull this back? It'll be an amazing comeback if they can. Concede lost a lot of stuff. Goes for another heretic squad. Gives them an aspiring champion. There's a blood sacrifice going off. That's a global ability of the Chaos Lord, spawning some bloodletters at the cost of an allied unit. Usually used on heretics since they aren't missed much. Concede losing those heretics in their entirety. Bane Blade on the way for Elk. Lemon Russ on the field for Lucidic. has the Vanquisher upgrade. Chaos Lord down in center. Space Marine Predator taking rear armor hits from the las cannon on the front of the Lemon Russ and the main cannon. 2-1 cap still for red team. Can they pull this off? 301 plays 25. That Venerable Dreadnought is still alive, getting repaired by Techmarine and scouts. Banewolf is still around. 2 melter bombs going off, almost taking out the Lemon Russ. Lucidic is taken out. Blue's now down 2 commanders. And the Lemon Russ goes down. This is devastating for blue team. Here's an orbital bombardment. I assume this was Faded Butterfly's doing, trying to protect the central VP. Blues devastated Concede and Lucidic down to just 2 units on the field. Concede goes for the Great Unclean One, another Chaos Predator for Unseen. No mark for it yet. Plague Champion fully upgraded to Plague Fist. Devastating melee weapon, also Armor of Pestilence, making him very tough. 1300 health, you can see. Even slower though now. And the Icon of Nurgle, great accessory, dealing constant damage to surrounding infantry. No sign of any Terminators then from Faded Butterfly since we saw that orbital bombardment. You have a Mark of Zinch Predator and a unupgraded Predator. Baneblade is on the field from Elk. Super heavy tank, bristling with guns. And we have what I assume is a repair bunker from Elk to look after all these vehicles. Can't see how Blues can come back into this. They need a very, very good engagement. Venerable Dreadnought scaring off these Ogrins. Lucidic has spotted the repair bunker from the looks of the chat. 2 Mark of Zinch Chaos Predators now. Great Unclean One hits the field. Super heavy unit for the Chaos. Fights in melee, has lots of abilities and is very, very tough. Baneblade taking damage from these Zinch Predators. Plague Champion, sorry, too slow to get in to use his Plague Fist. Melter bombs going off on the Zinch tank, snaring it. Stormtroopers get away to fight another day. 214 plays 24. Map control starting to creep into Red's favour across the map now. Here are the Ultramarines of Faded Butterfly, Merciless Strike, forcing them off the VP. Seem to heal the wrong unit there. There's some nasty Nurgle vomit and intestines. Meanwhile in centre it's all kicking off. Blues trying to push, but Baneblade and Predator and Repair Bunker is just too much. Lucidic back up incidentally, has her Inferno Pistol. Judgment has been called onto something, I don't see what. Must have retreated. Venerable Dreadnought still in there. She's in melee with scouts and the Techmarine. She might go down though, she should get away. Baneblade attacking the Great Unclean One. Venerable Dreadnought in there as well. As epic finish. 155 plays 24. Corn Worship healing the Great Unclean One and boosting his speed as long as he's in range. I don't think he is now. Down to half health. Tons of las cannons shooting at it. And the Venerable. And the Techmarine. Assault Marines jumping in. Venerable Dreadnought killed a bunch of stuff there. We have a Land Raider on the way for Faded Butterfly. Land Raider Redeemer to be exact. Ouch, Chaos Predator goes down. That was Ingo's, sorry. Looks like this last cannon was to blame, now running away. Great Unclean One's still alive. Nasty Noble Vomit killing tons of stormtroopers. It's gonna go down though here. Melter bombed and chased by a bunch of anti-vehicle weaponry, and down goes the Great Unclean One. It will explode when it dies, so you want to get clear. He's gonna stagger a bit and then laugh. And there we go. Healing surrounding allies, of course. Blue team have taken over this repair bunker. Inquisitor got inside. He's being flamed out and the bunker goes down, taking the Inquisitor with it. Here's Imperial Abyss, from Unseen, I assume. Huge damage to this Land Raider Redeemer. Fresh off the for the Ultramarines. Tactical Marines get out, have dual rocket launchers now, so versatile. Here's a rocket run, ouch. And the next strafe, Land Raider already down to half health, super unit for the Space Marines, has a multi-melter on top and assault cannon and a couple of heavy flamers, boosting the regen of surrounding allies, acting as a retreat point and a reinforcement point. They just cannot take out this Bane Blade. 68 plays 24, 2-to-1 cap still for red. Concede down to a single Chaos Space Marine squad, level 3 back of base. Bane Wolf slowing down these bloodletters. Tactical Marines deal with them. Another repair bunker goes down for the Imperial Guard, thanks to Elk, who is back at base with Inquisitor healing up. I don't see any way the Blues can dislodge this Land Raider. A bunch of Marines, Apothecary, Baneblade, Venerable Dreadnought, Ogrins, Bane Wolf, and a Predator. Dual melter bombs on this Chaos Predator. It's going to take it out, I think. No, Stormtroopers forced off, and one squad goes down. Concede has a tank on the field. Not sure it's going to help though. Ouch, that Predator does go down. Rocket run, devastating global ability. Put down by Elk, and that's a concede from the blue team. Great comeback from Reds, didn't think they could do it. But look at this army composition, there's no way around this. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you next time.